Hello everyone and welcome back to this new video. A few days back, I was reading a psychology blog post about instant gratification. So I thought that I must record a video and share all the things that I got to learn from that blog post so that it can be helpful to you guys as well. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. I am Garvit and on this channel, I upload videos related to things that I learned and I share my experiences so that you can also get to know something good. So if you are new on this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. Before I get to the actual definition, I want to share some examples from our real world that might have happened with you as well. The first one is very frequent among youngsters. We just want to watch one more YouTube video or one more episode of our favorite show before going back to work. Even though we know that we have to work, we have to get our work done, but still we have that urge of watching one more YouTube video, right? And the next one is very common among girls. गर्ल्स को अगर कोई भी नई ड्रेस मिलती है तो वो इंस्टेंटली उसे परचेज करना चाहती हैं. That urge is there instead of saving money for some future use, right? And the third example, this happens very frequently with me. I just cannot say no to my favorite food. If I see that, I want to eat that instantly, even though I know that it might be unhealthy for me or anything like that. So I just want to eat that. So we see a common pattern in all these examples. It is human nature that we tend to avoid pain and we seek pleasure immediately. We want that feeling of gratification in the same instant, in the instant itself. This is exactly what is instant gratification. And I read in that blog post that it is evolutionary. We humans have evolved like that. हमारे एंसेस्टर्स के पास में इतने ऑप्शंस नहीं थे. लाइक उन्हें अगर यदि कुछ खाने को मिल रहा है तो वो उसे फ्यूचर के लिए नहीं पोस्टपोन कर सकते थे, क्योंकि उन्हें पता होता था कि शायद फ्यूचर में मुझे ये ना भी मिले. सो जो मिल रहा है अभी खा लो, और वैसा ही होना चाहिए. जस्ट किडिंग. So all I'm trying to say is that to some extent this is evolutionary, right? It's not our fault. We have been evolved like that. We tend to seek pleasure over pain. Let us know about psychology behind instant gratification. As I told earlier, the root cause is human nature. We tend to seek pleasure over pain, but there can be other causes as well, like avoiding denial. Psychologically, we humans hate denial. We hate rejection. That can be one of the reasons. So instead of just rejecting something or postponing something for future, we just tend to do it immediately and seek pleasure. And another thing can be uncertainty. We humans have a tendency to opt for something which is certain, even though it might be less beneficial, and we tend to avoid something which seems uncertain, no matter if it could lead to more benefits. And the third thing is vision. It actually takes a vision to see the long-term benefits instead of getting indulged in short-term pleasures. And the last one is emotional intelligence. It is very important because whenever we encounter any emotional pressure, we tend to bend in a way which can make us feel good immediately, right? So we just don't want to feel that emotional pressure and we want to get rid of it as soon as possible. Let me share a very interesting psychological experiment that was conducted in 1960s or 1970s, I don't remember exactly. This experiment was called as the Marshmallow experiment. And in this experiment, psychologists called a few kids of 4 to 6 years of age maybe, and he offered them a marshmallow. Marshmallow is a kind of candy, and he asked those kids that if you don't eat this marshmallow while I'm away, you will get one more marshmallow when I come back. But if you eat this marshmallow, you will not get anything. And psychologist then left the room for almost 15 minutes, and he left each kid alone in that room with that marshmallow. Some kids ate that marshmallow straight away, whereas some kids could not hold hold their willingness to eat that for 15 minutes and they ate that somewhere in between. But some kids actually managed to resist eating marshmallow for that extra marshmallow. And after a few years, psychologist conducted a study on the same kids, and he found that all those kids who didn't eat that first marshmallow for that second marshmallow were actually more successful in almost all the phases of their life. And this was primarily because they could see that long term benefit. They could resist short term pleasure for that long term benefit. That is the main reason why they were successful than the other kids. And this is something we call delayed gratification, the opposite of instant gratification. Just a small side note, this concept instant gratification is somewhat related to procrastination. And if you want to know more about procrastination, watch this amazing video by Tim Urban, Inside the Mind of Master Procrastinator. He has explained it in an amazing way. Do check it out. So how can you deal with it? I think that instant gratification is not a problem, but if you feel like it is creating troubles for you, then yes, you might want to fix it. And there are a few things that you can do about it. And the first one is have a vision. Have a long-term goal in your mind, because when you have a long-term goal, these short-term temptations cannot govern you, because you have a clear picture in your mind what you want in the long run. And the second one is just take a moment and think what it would do to you and your self-confidence if you give up on these short-term temptations instead of following your long-term goal. And third one is just an extension of the second one, and it is don't act, just reflect. Know that you are feeling tempted. Acknowledge this fact, acknowledge it, but don't act on it. Don't act on this temptation. Just let it come, let it be, and let it pass away on its own. And this might be helpful for you. And the fourth one is practice delayed gratification. Tell yourself that you will watch your favorite TV show after doing your work, let's say solving 10 questions. And when you solve those 10 questions, solve another 3 problems, solve another 3 questions, and then actually go and watch your favorite TV show. I know this might be a little hard to follow, this might be a little difficult in the beginning, but of course, if we want to change, we will have to put in the efforts and we will have to challenge ourselves, right? So yes, these were a few things that you can do to deal with this instant gratification. But again, I believe that it is not a problem at all. It's just a human nature, but we need to keep a practice. We need to keep a good practice, and we need to follow a few things instead of always giving up for these short-term temptations. And yeah, that's all what I had to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any feedback related to my videos, the kind of content I create, the way I create it, please let me know in the comments. I would be really happy to hear it from you. See you in another video.